What's up, everybody? As always, thank you for the support to the Contract Fortune YouTube channel, and like and subscribe, when you get a chance to. Um, Today, I wanted to, it's a little bit more relaxed of a video. It was Sunday, and I was kind of excited to make this video. So I'm doing it in more of a relaxed environment in terms of, being all with my polo shirt or a suit and tie. So forgive the t-shirt if it bothered you. Um, I wanted to talk about customer service. Now, most people think of customer service and client being taken care of from a retail perspective. This is from a logistics perspective, but it's still retail and servicing a client and making sure that they get, at that point in time, the apex guarantee, as we like to call it. What happened was this. We were supplying PPE, masks, face shields, gloves at the height of the pandemic. And during that time period, it was different than contracting during regular government contracting because it was in the middle of a pandemic. People were still dying at a humongous rate. So any PPE that you supplied to any state municipality or university or anybody that was trying to reopen their business during that time period, the deadlines were a lot more crucial. The experience of your company was a lot more scrutinized. At the height of it, I'm not going to say it was scrutinized as bad because they just wanted the freight to move. But if they gave, it was a lot of who do you know? Do you have experience? But if you know the right people, then we'll just let you, take the freight. And that's how you ended up with a lot of people getting indicted, getting in trouble because they didn't fulfill those orders. I'm very deadline oriented. I haven't had a job since I was about 24. Nothing where I was like, this is going to be my job and I'm going to stay here, for 20 years. But I've always had a 9-to-5 mentality when it came to how I treated my own customers for my company. So let's get into the story part of it. I have about 15 guys that I go to when it comes to truck driving. I come from a truck driving background. I still have my CDLs. But I'll call these guys. They all own their own businesses, multiple trucks. I'll ask them, can you pick up a load for me? And they'll give me a good rate because, again, we have a relationship. These are their trucks, but I'll still look at it as, hey, I'm going to send one of my trucks out that way because it's all in-house to me. I called one of my guys, and I'm not saying anything now that I haven't told him or that he doesn't already know. But I called him on a Sunday. The freight had to be picked up the following Friday because the holiday, Labor Day holiday, was that following Monday. So customs, the warehouse, everything would have been closed. The freight was supposed to deliver that following Wednesday. So Monday, the customs and warehouse would have been closed. It would have been picked up Tuesday, and we were supposed to deliver in the middle of in the country by Wednesday, which wasn't going to happen. So he calls me Sunday. This is Sunday prior to that Friday, the deadline. He says, my truck is in the shop. Now, I haven't called anybody else. I haven't called any other driver because this was my go-to. So I couldn't really put anybody. You can't tell somebody, hey, I need you to be in LA on Friday if they're in Maryland or in New York or, they got to make their way across the country to get to LA. When he told me Sunday that the truck was broke down, I said, as long as he gets out of Miami by Tuesday, he can make it to Los Angeles nonstop. And Deadhead, the load, just empty trailer the whole way. Now, here's where conflict started. I said, look, if you leave Tuesday, you can still make it to LA. That's just a straight through drive, about 2,200, 2,300, maybe so miles, maybe 3,000. I might be off. But I said, if you leave Tuesday, you can get there. Nonstop driving. It's your truck. You don't have to follow the logbook. Just drive. At this point, I don't even think they were following logs. They just wanted the PPE to deliver to these different locations. He said, all right, cool. This was Sunday. I left it alone. You are a business owner. You own your own business. So it's not my job to browbeat you or to micromanage you. If you are a business owner and I'm a business owner, If you tell me that the deadline is this day and I respect you, then I'll make sure that I'm where I'm supposed to be the day I'm supposed to be there. Some people don't operate like that. That's not to say that this brother doesn't operate with a deadline, but sometimes when you work with friends, you feel like, hey, I'll get to it when I get to it. I'll do it when I'm supposed to do it. No, I don't do that. Even if we have a friendship, I know that your client is who is paying you. So our friendship has nothing to do with your client. Tuesday comes around. I call him Tuesday to see if he's leaving Miami to go to Los Angeles. He says, no, they haven't started my truck yet. They haven't started working on my truck. I won't probably get it back until tomorrow. I stopped the conversation right there. I said, look, I'm going to hop a flight right now. I'm going to hop a flight. I'm going to LA. I'll rent a truck, a straight truck, get the freight out of customs, get get everything to a secure location. You meet me by Sunday, right? And at this point, I think he knew I was beyond upset. I was upset not because of the fact that I feel like you took advantage of the friendship. I was upset at the fact that at that point, I'm your customer, regardless of if I'm your friend or not. I'm still your customer. So, I would expect you to, if you knew the level of what if you knew what the pressure cooker was of the situation, then you would have said, you know what, I'll be there. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to charge you for this deadhead. I know that it was my mistake. I'll get out to LA, and that would have been the end of it. I said, don't worry about it. I'm gone to LA. I caught a flight that Wednesday. Keep in mind, we're 48 hours away from Friday. Friday is the pickup day. I caught a flight to LA Wednesday. I got to LA Wednesday evening, got to the hotel. The next day, which was Thursday, I went to rent a Penske truck. I'm going to put pictures up of all of these things so that you can see some of the photographic, my biggest thing is authenticity. You can follow me at worldwide_friendly, and you can see all these jobs, all the projects that I'm telling you about. You can see them. That's my personal Instagram page. So it's a little bit more, it's a little bit more rambunctious, but my biggest thing is authenticity. All these jobs are there. I fly to LA Thursday morning. I'm going to get the Penske truck. I get the Penske truck. I make my way over to customs and the warehousing. Once I get there, I check in with now I have logistics partners. Again, I have logistics partners globally at this point. So I check in with my logistics partner in Los Angeles. She met me. That was my first time ever seeing her. And we were able to get the freight onto the straight truck, no problems. Now, load the truck up. Take the truck back out to where I'm staying at, my hotel. I bought a padlock. The stress of this is at this time period, COVID was raging and people were looking for 3-ply masks. They were looking for face shields. They were looking for thermometers. This straight truck was packed with about $250,000 worth of PPE. Now, I stayed in Riverside, California. I'm not too familiar with, I don't know which areas are rough areas or not rough areas. California to me is always beautiful, all the parts of it. So, I stayed in Riverside. I put the truck in a shopping mall parking lot, padlocked up. Keep in mind, I got about 72 hours because I gave him until Sunday to get to, Los Angeles to pick the freight up from me. So what we had to do was back both trucks up, take the freight out of my truck, put it into his truck, and then he would take the freight to, the middle of America. For those 72 hours, I didn't sleep because I didn't think, I knew nobody knew what was in that truck. But the stress of knowing how much money and inventory was in that truck and the fact that it's just sitting there, whether it was towed, broken into, anything, the stress of having to babysit this truck for 2 days straight, it wore me out. You know, there's parts of this business where if you care about the business, like some people are business owners just to say that they're business owners. If you care about your business, then you're going to stay on top of anything that is, you know, for a customer who you care about. So I called the customer on Friday, let the customer know, hey, I got the freight. The freight is here. We'll be there by the delivery date, which was Wednesday of the following week. Took pictures, let him see the pictures of it, and that part took the relief off of him. Now let me tell you what this man said to me. Had I not made this deadline, the conversation was cool. When you start dealing with, you know, $250,000 on up into the millions, people's expectations are intense, but their behavior a lot of times is way more cool and subtle because they know they know that they have something that you want, which was the money. He let me know that if this freight did not deliver Wednesday, the dean of students, the head of procurement, because he was the head of procurement, him, the head of procurement, dean of students, everybody was dependent on this freight to get the school back open. If I did not deliver on the date that I said I would deliver, because I sent them an email because they requested an email from me to tell them when the freight would be there. So I sent this email to all of these important people at that university. And he said, if you don't deliver on Wednesday, then we'll just never do business with you again. I said, all right. So I told the driver on Sunday, because he hadn't left yet. No, Saturday. He hadn't left yet. Saturday. He hadn't left yet. I said, look, if you're not here by Sunday it had to be Friday, because he was on the road. So it had to be Friday. I apologize. I told him, if you're not here Sunday by 12, I'm gone. I'm just going to take this truck and drive it to where it needs to go to because I don't have time to wait. He got there Sunday at 12 p.m., right? At the time he was supposed to be there to meet me to do the transaction. I explained to him that you asked me for a large amount of money to run this run. You knew that there was a lot of money involved with this entire project. So I don't mind, it was the drivers were running so nonstop during that time period that I didn't mind paying because I know you get what you pay for. So I wanted my drivers to be compensated for their time and for the intensity of what I needed them to do for me. So when he got there, I said, and I asked this from the perspective of just a normal person, not even a business partner or a friend, any of it. If I hadn't have picked up this freight, it wouldn't have been picked up until Monday, and it wouldn't have delivered till Thursday, and I would have lost that client. Do you feel like you are entitled to the whole amount of what you asked me for, and you didn't even complete, the portion of getting out here on time? We had a discussion. We worked out, what needed to be worked out, business wise. But he understood what I was saying. I'm telling you this part of it. Your word and sticking to a deadline is everything. If you are an entrepreneur, some people are entrepreneurs just for the sake of saying that they're an entrepreneur. Some people are entrepreneurs just because it seems like that's what's cool to do right now. If you really care about your business, then when you get those big clients, it's not that you are catering to someone's ego. You're catering to the fact that, oh my goodness, they're paying me a lot of money. No, that's not the point. Your word is your bond. I don't care if it's $1 million client or $1,000 client. If I said that my company is going to do the job, we're going to do the job. We do the job at the time that we're told to do the job, because not only does it carry for that particular, deadline or for that particular job, it's going to carry for the next job, and people begin to hear about you. When I first started Contract Fortune, I started Contract Fortune with the goal of trying to sell, teaching people how to government contract and different parts of freight brokering. That's how I started Contract Fortune. Again, it's a slow grind with Contract Fortune, but my goal is, if you ever pay, because I think I'm going to give a lot more of this content away than I am going to try to sell it, because I feel like the more I give, the more will always come back. And we'll have a talk about that one too. Giving is the most important part of being an entrepreneur. Most people think being an entrepreneur is more about getting money, being able to like all the things that you see on, my Instagram page are a result of the fruits of my labor. But those aren't the most important things. The most important things, the things that motivate me and make me the most passionate, is to see somebody else reach that goal of their business being successful. So giving away is more important, and giving away is what I think I'm going to do more of with Contract Fortune. But back to what I was saying. Your word as an entrepreneur, if you care about your business, if you truly are trying to build a successful business, your word is the most important thing you have. Your word often, and I've had a debate about this, from a material perspective, your credit, your credit score, your credit ability to obtain credit is very important. But from a, do people trust you to follow through work-wise, is more important than, being able to follow through, meet a deadline, and your word and your word being your bond is more important than your credit when it comes to doing business and going up the progress ladder. I am able to now sit in rooms with very high profile people, very high profile businessmen. And before I even speak or say, hey, let me introduce, let me give you my capability statement, or let me tell you about, they already know who I am. They already know what I've done in terms of some of these government contracts. And they know what I did in terms of helping to restart the country and supplying, the different places with PPE. To me, I love that part of it. I'm not going to say more, maybe as much, maybe more, than the money part of it. The fact that people respect the company name, people respect my name, people know that if you acquire me to do a job for you, that job is going to get done. The fact that people know that about me now seems like it feels way more important than the money part of it. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are building a business and you care about it, the survivability of your business depends on your word and the fact that you know how to do what it is you say that you do, especially with government contracting. With government contracting, you can go out here and secure $1 million contract, couple $1 million contract. But if you don't know anything about what it is that you're, procuring or securing or whatever the operation is, then you are dead in the water. And you're looking at indictments, you're looking at cancel for cause, different things that will, penalize you later on. If you care. If you don't care, if you were just trying to be in it for a quick hit, then if you got the quick hit, then mission accomplished. But if you're trying to truly make it work and build it, then it's going to come down to how far are you willing to go for your clients? Can your clients depend on you? Can your clients call you? I don't care how big you are or how big you think you are. If your client needs you, and you can't delegate that phone call to a subordinate, then you need to take that phone call. Don't feel like you're big. Even God shows up every now and again to say hello to make sure you're okay. If you follow me and if you're a spiritual person, you understood what I just said. But you can't have a God complex and feel like, oh, I don't deal with the people. I don't talk to the people. I never forget the time this person told me, oh, Bill Gates doesn't go out to do this. What's the guy's name? Bezos doesn't go out there. I don't care. I don't care. So it took, I don't care how big I get, no matter how big I get, if I see a fault wrong with the client, I will address it and deal with it myself. And then I'm going to come and deal with the person that was supposed to have dealt with that situation. So I don't want to go too long, rambling about it. I'm going to include some pictures so that you guys can see the actual operation that I'm describing. As always, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for the support. And this one, like I said, this particular, this operation I'm going to send you pictures of, for all the stress that it was a lot of fun. So have a great Sunday. Have a good day. And I'll see you guys in a couple of days. And I got another subject that I want to